players. But Modern Life is so emotional. He can't get over losses when the onus of the loss is on him. And that's what happened in the last game, especially on a hero that he wasn't prepared to perform on in the first place. So it will be very important for Team BlossoM to sort of rally around his mentality and give him the support, the emotional support he needs to get his mind back into this game. Because if he starts faltering in the solo lane on this map, then it's going to look like Game 3 all over again, with Mighty staying ahead in the rotations, even though it's a smaller map.
And there's a Nubarak back instantly. We thought all the cocoon changes during teamfight was super. It was a big change, so a Nubarak ban, Auriel ban coming off from Mighty. This leaves a lot open. Genji is open, Illidan is also open, but they can only choose one.
Uther is open as well, so a lot of possibilities on the table for BlossoM. And I believe they had to be expecting the Auriel pick, and they would have banned the Anubarak for a reason. So the fact that they're being very slow about this first pick worries me. They take the Stitches, so in essence, this was sort of like a warrior choke.
Yeah, putting Gondar on his favorite hero, Stitches, putting him into the comfort role. But can they do it for all 5 of them? I think Mighty will be looking for those steals on the comfort picks from BlossoM's side. Genji is open. They can take it whatever they want to. First pick, Uther.
Uther was somewhat standard, and they could have gone for the Dazzler or the Genji, but they decide to go with the Uther Genji pickup. So far, somewhat standard on Mighty's end. BlossoM's first pick, Stitches, was a bit more unconventional, but as you said, Gondar's favorite hero, he performed very well on it in Game 1, and that Game 1 mentality is what they're trying to go back towards.
I think that's a very good path that they should be taking right now when they're down 1-2. And Genji Uther, very strong pick, but this battleground, what matters, the one thing that matters the most is the wave clear. If you lose on the wave clear, you will lose the rotations, and your enemy team will have all the time to turn in the gems. So you have some poke, you have some harass, but if you lose all the wave clear, all the EXP, and plus the gems too, then you're not into the perfect position on this battleground. So with Genji Uther, good picks, but Mighty seems like they need some wave clear coming up in the later 3 picks.
Could be a solution, and they go with the Malfurion Tychus instead. Tychus somewhat unexpected. I am not entirely sure why they picked it up at this moment. Not picking Dihaka was pretty okay because it saves the solo lane for a later place in the draft, but the Tychus pickup here is pretty interesting. As far as I know, Dutu nor NoChad has performed particularly well on Tychus.
I think they're going with the synergy. I can see the synergy of Stitches and Tychus. It's happening. The pink BlossoM synergy. We saw the pink hammer coming out from Dutu in phase number 1. I think that's where they're going to. It is Spider Queen, their favorite map too.
So they're going with the seasonal skin theme.
Yes.
Suns out, guns out.
They want to bring in all the synergy that they can have in this game number 4. Could be their last game.
Then they're going to have to pick Tracer as well, right?
They have to pick
with
all
the summer
the
skins.
Yes.
So their last 2 picks are going to be Tassadar or Tracer. It's pretty much set. We called the entire draft.
And with the Stitches, I miss Pool Party already. And actually, Medivh ban coming up from Mighty. Okay.
They're trying to take away the uncertainty that happens.
Yes, some pokes available, and of course,
Stitches
Raven can provide a lot of the sights for the team. And in terms of BlossoM, maybe they're thinking about the dive, so taking out Tyrael seems like a pretty good ban. But without Tyrael, now what else are they going to do? Without Tyrael, without Anubarak, they do not really have a tank that you can dive in with, other than Muradin. Or ETC is also an okay option, as Joker would love to play on ETC.
Diallo is also an option as well, and that would be the most meta pick out of all the heroes available right now. Lyric, also a good pickup. Solid's pick against Stitches.
Is this going to be March with the dive?
Could be possible, but probably just an Entomb to catch Malfurion off
likely.
guard. But I really like how Mighty is approaching this draft. Greymane is such a good answer to what BlossoM has on their side. And also takes away a counter pick to Lyrics, so not bad.
Not bad, really. And that Entomb can also save their teammates too on this. There are lots of choke points in this battleground, so.
Tyrael is banned, Malthael is up, and Lyric a bit vulnerable to
But
Malthael.
they still needed a solo lane, so bringing Lyric for the decent wave clear too, and you can also come back anytime to keep on soaking in the XP and get that wave clear, and later that those Entombs can actually punish hard when it comes if you can trap a Stitches or Tychus.
So then the Zebo Ragnaros.
They're looking for a long end game here. Rag to actually go into the defense, kind of like what Mighty did in game number 3, Infernal Shrines. There's the Diablo, as you called it, with fully charging in. But solo Uther support, is that going to be enough though?
Well, technically Lyric is probably not going to need that much healing, whereas the other 3 probably will. But then again, solo support on the side of BlossoM as well, so I don't know. Nazebo and Ragnaros are definitely in bad places in the meta at this moment, so overall I'd like Mighty's draft a little bit.
Yep, and the fully dive comp coming out from Mighty. If they win here, they can finish the series with 3-1. Can BlossoM bounce back and make it into a 2-2? They're looking for the late game. Let's go into game number 4, Tomb of the Spider Queen. In blue, Mighty. Joker on Diablo, PDG on Genji, Good on Leoric, Nasang on Uther, and Magi on Greymane.
And on the side of red, Team BlossoM with Wiz on Malfuri and Gondor on Stitches, Mora on Ragnaros, Dutu on Tychus, and No Chat on Nazebo. So I think that's a little bit of an interesting switch up, because generally I think Dutu has been more preferential towards Nazebo and No Chat towards Tychus. So they mixed it up for this game.
Yeah, No Chat did play a few Nazebos at the end of phase number 1, especially, so it's not a big upset, but there was a small change there. And as you can see from the team comp of both teams, Mighty will be looking for those ganks from the early lead, have the snowball from the beginning of the game, have all the Web Weavers push, but exactly onto the other side, it's like spears against the shield. Rag will be going into those Molten Core, and Mora again, seems like he will be caught. There's the toss from Diablo, and that's a kill.
That was inexcusable for Mora. You never walk into the vents like that.
I see the tilt happening here.
Yeah, it's definitely tilt coming out from Mora. He's not thinking straight, and he needs to snap out of it. But will he be able to? I'm not too confident from my experiences working with the player. But no, because he plays so well when he's happy with his own play.
We saw from game number 1, but after that, he has been consistently getting picked off from Mighty. So, but this is the long game. He has the time. If BlossoM can hold for a long time, he can clear his mind. If Nazebo can reach level 20.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing in disguise that BlossoM has a composition geared towards the late game. So hopefully if he does not make any more jarring mistakes, Mora will be happy. By the time the late game rolls around, a scattered tussle going around the top outer. Nothing much happens though.
Looking on, trying to punish Leoric when there's a big... Ooh, this hook can actually help Mighty in terms, but a lot more resources onto BlossoM, as they're not really putting any onto the side of the middle lane. The wave clear, decent with Leoric and Greymane, okay. And also, in terms of BlossoM, they don't have the best clear, like, wave clear, like, Gul'dan or anything like that. So, I think it's overall a pretty good, but the problem for BlossoM, if they get constant pickoff from Diablo charging in with all those dives and the burst, that will be the biggest one, so they have to be safe.
So far, aside from the pick off onto Mora, both teams relatively doing the same things Mora will be safe this time around.
Ooh, Magi was coming in with the E.
If Magi had gone in further, then that would have been a dead Mora. But he was right to retreat because it would have been an exchange.
Now there's a root, but Magi's coming in for the help actually.
Oh wow!
But the focus was on Diablo the entire time. Well done by BlossoM to actually get a pick there.
BlossoM should be feeling better about their chances in this game after that one hook. Doesn't mean much right now, but wonders does a small play do for morale.
Matters a lot. He lost his souls, and that's the good news, of course. And I think it's all up to Gondar's hooks and the pair up from Wiz. It has not been so perfect. I think they can have a better coordination onto those hook root combos. Gondar's hook, of course, since game number 1 has been very consistent, as you can see from game number 4 from the beginning. And that slam build will help him to clear those waves. So I think BlossoM is off to an okay early lead start if Mighty cannot get those constant picks.
I still feel that BlossoM is not exactly thinking straight when it comes down to it, because you saw both members of BlossoM with Gondar and a nice hook lands on to Joker.
There's a minigun damage, but not enough to take him down. The bigger they are, doing tons of damage actually. But Uther's armor actually will not save him because percent damage ignores totally, so never mind.
So the point that I was going to make earlier was that when Gondar and Mora were channeling their gems into the top altar in full sight of Mighty, Mighty knew that they were doing it and they had plenty of tools to disrupt it. That's wasting time. That's wasting time for rotations. And they were ahead in the rotations when they were in that position. But due to wasting time at the altar, they fell behind in the rotations again. And small things like that are actually very important on this map. So BlossoM need to be more crisp about those kind of slight misplays. This one makes sense though.
Yeah, it makes sense, and Mora actually lost his time and bottom turned in. And they were trying to turn in, but the bottom, there was no harass coming out from Nazeebo at all. So there's a Wet Weaver coming out from Mighty.
Again, as we talked about this earlier, why did Mighty's turn happen? Because BlossoM wasted time at the top altar and fell behind in the rotations. So staying ahead in rotations, Mighty had that window of opportunity to get in the first turn in. BlossoM, of course, has the Rangaros, has decent wave clear overall. So we thought that they would be able to defend this pretty well, but Joker, brilliant flank.
Brilliant flank, and the body blocks were real. Wiz has had no escape at all. This is the dive comp they brought, and they're using it to snowboard their lead. A full level lead already with those gems turned in. I think they have a lot in their hands too. BDG holding in 27. So let's see if they can go for the back-to-back turn in. I think it'll be close to 40-ish at least.
BlossoM, by the time they defend all of the Web Reavers, Mighty will have hit level 10. And Mighty need 10 more gems until their second turn in. But I believe by level 10, they will have secured those extra gems.
We only need 10 more. BlossoM holding in 71. Well, we always say this. It doesn't matter how many you're holding. If you cannot turn it in, yes. There's a hook onto Joker, consistently minigun doing some damage, but oftentimes it's Diablo, and you cannot really get a kill. The perfect hook will be Uther, but Joker is right in front of him all the time. It's like he knows that the hook is going to come out from Gondar all the time.
Joker has to be feeling pretty safe with the extra armor coming out from Uther. Also, not too much burst damage on the side of BlossoM, especially when Nazeebo or Rangaros are pushing in the side lane. So, not too much BlossoM can do right now, but they won't be too bothered by it essentially, simply because, again, as you mentioned, their composition is tailored for the late game. They probably are looking towards level 16 or even further beyond that. But the issue is that they must not let themselves lose too hard before hitting that desired mark.
Yep. Full level lead for Mighty, and BlossoM just hit 10. There's Scorch and Lava Wave! It's real, guys.
Why?
For the wave clear, yes. That's
you
the one.
have Stitch's Malfurion. Why would you take Lava Wave?
And Nochan holding in 28, he's entombed. There's the APOC. He is going down for sure. And there's the secure kill with the Genji. He will have reset onto that Swift Strike.
Very, very timely. Twilight Drain came out of Wiz, but it will be to very little effect.
Lava Wave will, I guess it will relieve the pressure because they will be pushed. They will be pushed because they are losing at the moment. There's a Lava Wave, as we mentioned. It will clear the web weaver, not entirely, but release some of the pressure. They really want to stall time for 20.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Takes out the minions, so that's an issue in itself.
Ooh. It was a great hook though. Great hook and attempted, but Dutu all alone in the front line takes a lot of damage. Here comes BDG. The wild Genji appears with the Divine Shield onto himself. No fort to save the team. BlossoM loses 2 members at the end.
And loses a lot of jumps too. Not that it matters because Mora is carrying so much of them right now that it doesn't hurt their immediate chances. But so far, what has been happening on BlossoM's side? Oh!
No more
73 jumps!
7-3-3-D.
All of BlossoM's hopes and dreams.
Okay,
just
now
is this game really?
I have to be really critical of BlossoM. I've been trying to defend and
join the Toxic Club.
so I will join the Toxic Club. They do not have gems. The possible way of relieving pressure with the Lava Wave is not enough without the Web Weavers for them. Losing all the gems will cost them so much. Almost 2 and more level lead here as Nochat using the route to actually defensive here. And BDG is always looking for that angle to come in, look for the kill. Does not have the Dragon Blade yet, but once he does, he will come and look for the kill every single time.
Yeah, as you mentioned, not only do we sort of disagree with the draft itself that BlossoM has chosen for this map, but the real issue is Lava Wave. Why would you ever take Lava Wave on any map? Particularly this map. I think the only map
I actually agreed on Braxis. It's
yeah,
somewhat okay.
But still, it's the inferior hero even on its best map. And particularly with this composition, your main method of stalling until Nazeebo's late game power spike is threatening the hook into Entangled Roots, into Twilight Dream, into Sulfurous Smash. That combo is your bread and butter. That's supposed to sustain you until Nazeebo at least hits level 16. And then you take Lava Wave.
Here's a dive again onto Mora. It seems like the body block is so real. Diablo is scorched, but Ragnarok's already lost into misses. Oh, poor Joker. Divine Shield, actually, seems like he may actually get out with the charge onto the Gargantuan there. Nicely done. They had to use Divine Shield that will lack the sustain of Genji later on, but if you can save your teammates and still continue your level lead, I think that's a fine news.
And again, as we discussed this in the draft phase for this game, Mora, very emotional player, clearly on tilt throughout this entire game, continuously getting caught.
Ooh. BlossoM, but they still have keeps, but can they reach level 20? I think that's a lot less likely at this point because they lost all the gems. They barely have enough to turn in one off right now, but they cannot even get close to the center of the map. That's the thing.
To be honest, if Mighty play this correctly, then BlossoM will not be able to reach level 16, let alone level 20, unless they get a really good hook off, which definitely is possible. Gondor is a decent Stitches, and the follow-ups from Wiz have been good this game. But apart from those, BlossoM have no tools in their kit to combat Mighty's map-wide pressure.
That was not enough range. Maybe this time he'll go for that fishing hook this time.
Gondor will definitely have an incentive to go for the extra playmaking potential. I don't think Mega Slam is going to do much for him right now.
And Lava Wave used on top to release the pressure a little bit, but 12 minutes into the game, Web Weavers are still very strong.
BlossoM did a much better job of defending against this batch of Web Weavers, so a lot of positivity on the side of BlossoM. They also have enough gems to get in possibly their first turn in. So if they're smart in moving them out the map, perhaps they can at least reach level 16.
Ooh, that helping hand on the timing miss there.
Gorge.
Does save actually. Gorge, Diablo once more. Divine Shield is out. Good news for BlossoM, but can they make the chase? Can they make the hook happen?
Hook happens again.
Again, onto Diablo though. Not too much damage, and Odin has been on for a while. Seems like it's going to be going off very soon. Ugh.
The Divine Shield could have looked premature to many viewers, but I believe that it was a decent decision to use Divine Shield to ensure that Diablo got out safely.
To save Joker, yes. Once he loses all the souls, his tankiness is a lot less, and I think it's worth to actually use it and just disengage because you know you have the lead. And BlossoM is still so far away from 16 and still very, very far away from 20 indeed. So they will be looking forward to take this keep actually here because 16 is not rich for BlossoM, this boss, and they can go for another web weaver once they have it.
Pretty close on the hook there, although it was Genji and there was no immediate backup, so it wouldn't have amounted too much.
Seems like the teamwork is falling apart a little bit in terms of BlossoM's side here.
Lost still very healthy, moving on to the keep now.
Let's see. The hooks has been on Joker, the focus has been on Joker this entire time. There's the lava wave. Not getting too much value in 2 misses though, but that's enough. They gotta kill onto Taika's. They will get this keep for sure. And the Molten Core is coming in for the defense. Actually does not get the keep for the time being. They hit 16. Is this the big moment? Not yet, it seems like.
Gondor didn't take Fishing Hook, so
okay,
a bit of a
slam.
surprise there. But full stamp, not a bad talent at all. And that was decent Molten Core coming out from Mora, but Mighty were smart enough to take it down before they left. So all structures extremely healthy for Mighty. Whereas
Lava
BlossoM,
Wave,
only 2 keeps left.
Lava Wave with the nerf to it a long time ago, and the cooldown is pretty long too. Even with the upgrade at 20, it will help a little bit more once he gets another charge to it. Reduce, but if Dutu gets caught again like this, no, the helping hand was way too late. And
why would you want to
pretty sure why he was
there? That vent?
Yes, that was the question that I was going to ask, and I know you're very triggered at the same time, Rally, but the game goes on, and our life goes on, and Mighty will be hitting that 20. I think that's the mark. We will be seeing the end of game number 4. I think.
Very good pick on to Genji.
Very good actually. No Dragon Blade even used, and Slam Bill doing so much damage onto 4 targets.
They will manage to defend this keep as well, and they might want to chase.
There's the hook and the Divine Shield at the perfect timing again. Drop a lot of gems. Maybe this time Joker will be going down. It seems like he is very close to end. He did go down, finally.
This could be the start of a potential comeback on the side of BlossoM. Remember that the Zeebo's power spike begins at level 20 and ends at level 20. Begins at level 16 rather, and BlossoM are at level 17 right now.
Ooh, the root did not connect. Nasang survives after the chase, but Mighty, all they have to do is soak in for that 20 as BlossoM is still 2 1/3 level away.
Finally a sweet,
is this their first turn in? I think so.
I
in this game
as well. And no chat. He spent so much time in this game just farming up those stats, but judging from the time that he took, I'm pretty sure that he will have 170 by level 20.
Maybe more than 175.
Maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more. Close to 200, who knows. And let's see, Mighty,
very
they do
close to level 20 though.
And they will be looking forward to a team fight. Tries to entomb. There's a Gorge, but entomb! He cannot escape!
What an entomb!
That was the perfect entomb. Here comes the lava wave. Magi doesn't even care. He walks on the lava.
Oh god, that entomb was so perfect.
That was nicely done. And timing there, he was walking in at the perfect time.
So, another dent in BlossoM's hopes getting to the late game.
Oh, here comes the Dragon Blade and the Dragon Blade. Oh, gets cancelled. Joker, the man, Mora will be going down for sure. There is no way. That's a reset. Now on to No Chat. Magi is trying to throw the cocktails, doing some damage, but the passive is real. No Chat is somewhat tanky now.
BDG disappointed that he can't keep up his Dragon Blade anymore, but overall, Mighty will be very happy with how the game has panned out so far.
As long as they get this keep and Molten Core cannot be used, Rag will not be back for the next 27 seconds, and a lot more pressure is holding 50 gem. There's a good hook and the Gorge. Seems like they will get another kill here. This tool actually stole a lot of time.
Gondar has been a god this game.
Those hooks, he has been hooking Joker the entire time, but it worked somewhat. It's working somewhat, and it's buying a lot of time for the team.
So I have to praise BlossoM's approach to the draft. They first picked Stitches, despite having a lot of tools that they could have otherwise taken. And they even took away a Nubarok because he is one of the heroes, the warriors, that can get away when Stitches pulls you.
That's right.
Then they took away Tyrael, another one of those warriors, in the second draft phase. So it was really set up well for...
Oh, they're going in for the back door. Are they going to? They were almost going to.
Good posturing from Mighty. Doesn't really matter whether they go for it or not. I think they will. But BlossoM, finally, they make it to level 20. We thought it wouldn't be possible, but they do it.
After this wave clear, they do, finally.
Vial infection time.
Let's see it. See it complete on the bottom of the screen. Ooh.
Oh.
Now we do. It is completed, as you can see. And Vial infection, quest completed, and that's a major, major power spike. And they finally have 2 stacks onto the lava wave. That's a big improvement.
That's actually more important than Vial infection, having those 2 lava waves, man.
And 2 lava waves on top. And they will be making those approaches, and they're sticking together. See, Leoric actually pushing aside, having a split push to pressure the bottom keep too a little bit.
Technically speaking, at this point in the game, with 2 keeps down, these lava waves could be slightly useful, finally, for the first time in the game, to deal with the constant minion pressure that
Okay, now this comes along together. The Vial infection, zombie wall, extra lava wave, and hungry Stitches. That's the thing. The hungry Stitches will eat you, and the lava wave value will be real with the double. Of course, Nazeebo.
Stitches probably taken to ensure that he can always gorge a nearby Genji no matter what. So I can somewhat agree with that pick. It's not like a lot of damage is going on to Stitches in these team fights. But in the case that it does...
But good is turning in, and he does!
It was somewhat expected that Mighty would be able to out-pressure BlossoM across the map. 2 keeps is difficult to keep up with.
This will be very tough to defend against. If he had taken heroic to at 20 to actually
heroic difficulty.
Yeah, heroic level, I think. So that would have been helping a little bit more to defend their keeps, defend the last standing keep and also the core. But this will be a real threat. 21-minute Web Weavers in all top lanes, no defense at all. When the Molten Core goes down, I think Lava Wave can relieve the pressure a little bit, but not too much. Already using the Molten Core.
Somewhat far away. Mora, this Molten Core, seems slightly premature, really. They will not have it to defend the bottom keep, nor the top batch of Web Weavers. So do or die moment for BlossoM, really.
They're taking this with the... does not catch Stitches. That's a good news. Curse Bullet already used onto Gondar. And Rag is away for the moment to clear the top wave. So that defense was actually well done. Well done by BlossoM. And Mighty, knowing the potential damage coming out from No Chat now, did not really go all in.
Very good defense coming out of BlossoM. And now they have the gems advantage. They have enough for a turn-in. Mighty does not. But Mighty has enough lane pressure to go for a boss, and a 22 level boss towards an open keep, that means a core rush.
Yes.
So BlossoM, knowing that, has to come into this zone.
There's a curse bullet onto Gondar. He's low and he goes down. Wiz tries to do, and he gets the silence, but without the tank. Is that going to be enough? I don't think so. Lava Wave comes, but they can just dodge. And good BDG actually very low right now. Nasang is walking on the lava. Maybe they want to turn this around. There's the A-Punk. Stuns the Ragnaros. That's going to be a kill. Magi will go down though. There's a chase.
Massive damage coming out of No Chat's Nazebo, so we see the power of the Vial Infection there. But as we said, Stitches taking Hungry Gorge, not a bad idea, but without the Hardened Shield, when you get caught out like that, and I don't want to blame Gondar for it because he had to face check that vent because they had to stop that boss attempt, but he gets caught out. Really solid Entomb.
I think this will be close to a game. The Whip Weaver summon, I don't think it matters too much. They don't have Greymane yet. If they lose Wiz, and I think they're going to Ice Block just by the time.
Could they feasibly rush the core with their remaining members? I don't think Mighty have the intention to do that. They're retreating to their respective lanes.
Okay. Well, now they're really respecting the damage that can be put out from Nazebo and the hook potential. And there's a Gorge. I think they could have pressured a little bit, at least, because there's still a long time for Malfurion and also Tychus here.
I think the idea is that once Lyric takes care of the bottom batch of Web Weavers, they will have a window of opportunity while Malfurion is out of the equation to go for the boss, which will probably equal core. Will they do it? They are moving towards the boss.
Yeah, this is a better situation. Without the Twilight Dream, they cannot really silence. The Lava Wave will not help here, will not come to the boss actually, so. And this will actually secure the game. And BlossoM really cannot do too much against this right now. All they can do is try to get the camp onto their side and try to come out to the lane on top as quickly as possible to do maximum damage to the boss. So Mighty is going for the hard pressure right now.
I guess if you manage to land a very good Twilight Dream and Gorge multiple members, then spit them out as the Lava Wave is passing, something like that, I don't know. It could be possible, but it's a level 23 boss, full health. All of Mighty have their heroics.
There's the first lava wave coming out. Using the Odin to do everything possible. There's Hungry Stitches, but not doing much. There's
really solid Entomb into Apocalypse combo.
Before Twilight Dream, that's helping a lot, but this boss is hitting onto the core, losing Malfurion, and there's a never-ending Dragon Blade with the Divine Shield onto himself. Tutu is lost and he cannot do too much damage. There's the third kill and Gondar gets the hook, but that dies anyhow. There's the core. Will be the end of the game number 4 and the series going to Mighty. Finally, they took a long time, but they went for the safe strategy and they finally win game number 4.
Masterful macro play coming out from Mighty right there. They could have tried to take a lot of shortcuts in this game. They were in such an advantageous position for most of it, really. But they always went for the low-risk strategy. They, like, using Divine Shield onto Diablo every time he got hooked, that sort of symbolizes Mighty's approach to this game, right? They always wanted to play it safe. They always took this safer route, and it really paid off massively. Not going for the core immediately, but deciding to back off, defend the Web Reavers, and take the boss, and then go core. Very good decisions throughout the game. And in contrast, BlossoM displayed true grit throughout the game by sticking it out, making it to level 20, even getting a late turn-in on. But unfortunately, the mistakes they made in the early game were too massive and too many. Yeah,
and Nazebo, level 20, of course, with the Vial Infection. That's a big power spike. But against the Divecom, who can just literally delete you off the map within the next second, less than a second, I think it was a very tough choice for No Chat and the entire team. And Lava Wave helped a little bit. I think if he actually took Smash instead, they could have secured the kill with the Gorge. Could have been a better option, but they decided not to. It worked okay, but at the end, against the dive comp, against the Genji, and pretty good protection coming out from the team. And Uther Armor, Joker has been very solid in the front line, and Mighty, at the end, better team of the day.
So, who would you give the MVP to on Mighty?
Well, Joker was on last time, but this time I want to see Nasang The Divine Shield timing was pretty good, decent all the time, and he has been solid lost his life few times in game number 1 and 2 because he was caught off, but other than those times, I think all of his heroics landed on the perfect timing, so I want to see Nasang on the interview zone.
I guess Good played a pretty decent game overall as well. Some of his entombs weren't the greatest, but a lot of his were, and some key entombs leading up to blocking the gorged
That was one
stitches.
of the biggest ones.
Yeah, that was huge.
And as mentioned, we are going into interview. We do not know who it is yet. Let's find out together, guys.
자, 마이티의 마기 선수와
It is
함께하겠습니다.
Magi
정말 축하드리고
from
있습니다.
Mighty. Congratulations, of
자,
course.
오늘 그 경기 승리하셨는데 승리 소감 한마디 부탁드리겠습니다.
Of course, after the win, how do you feel right now?
오늘 좀 컨디션이 저가 안 좋았었는데
네.
I didn't have the best shape
이겨서
today.
좋은 것 같아요.
I think,
그러세요?
but it was okay.
어디가 좀 안 좋으셨나요?
그냥 많이 몸이 피곤해서 오늘따라 평소보다 그래서 좀 힘들었던 것 같아요. 제가 1경기 때 좀 잘 못해가지고
혹시 그
my game number 1 was not so perfect, you know.
이겨야 한다는 그 스트레스나 압박감 때문에 좀 아프셨나요?
그런 거는 전혀 아니에요.
Was it the pressure or the threat that you've been having in game number 1?
지난주에 그 MVP 블랙과 템페스트에게 패배를 하고 좀 오늘 경기에서 봤을 때 상당히 많이 보완이 됐다는 느낌이 들었고 어떤 식으로 좀 연습을 하셨나요?
How did you guys practice throughout the season?
투 서포터 많이 쓰고
We practiced lots of two supports,
뱀픽을 보여줘서
double support draft.
그때 약간
We showed a lot in
약점이
HGC.
생겼다고 생각했거든요. 그래서 그쪽으로 약간 보완을 했어요.
자,
I
오늘
think
그
we were lacking in some other parts,
이제 이
and
자리에
we
오신
made
게
some
마기
fix.
선수
We made some additional
이번
practices.
시즌
이번 시 처음이시죠? 그 다시 왔을 때 오늘의 그 기분이나 감정 그런 것들은 좀 어떠신가요?
그냥 그냥 MVP 받아서 좋은 정도인 것 같아요.
그 정도.
Feels actually. How does it feel to come back into Mighty? And it feels great actually to be in the interview zone right
이거
now.
보셨죠? 네, 혹시 대기실에서 보셨나요?
Oh my,
이렇게
here
공식
comes
달리는
again.
거?
The Avatar interview.
자, 그럼 아바투르 인터뷰를
On No Prime's head.
해보겠습니다.
옆머리처럼 되게 눈에 걸리네요. 네.
자, 형에서
이제 마기 선수가 히어로즈에서 가장 좋아하는 영웅이 뭔지 궁금합니다. 라고 질문 주셨어요.
아바타를 가장 좋아해요.
I love
이것 때문은
Avatar
아니죠?
personally.
네.
Not the hat though, right?
같은데?
방송 보고 이렇게 카메라를 보고 이렇게 해주셔요.
이게
Oh Prime totally ignoring the camera.
헤드셋 때문에.
자,
He
그러면
loves
이제
looking at
이스턴
Magi.
클래시에서 이제 진출하기 위한 마지막
There's a
관문이
Kappa
이제
pride, guys.
L5하고의 마지막 한 경기만 남아 있는데
And you only have one match left against L5.
팀의 그런 분위기라든지.
How's the atmosphere in the team?
열심히 해서 이기자라는 분위기고요.
Of
상대가
course, the
L5가
atmosphere, we want to win.
많이 힘들 거라고 예상하고 있어요.
But I think it's going to be a very tough
스코어는
match against L5.
3대 2나 3대 1로
I think it's going to be
나오지 않을까요?
3-1, 3-2 either team, I think. He did not say which team. He just said 3-1 or 3-2.
빅4에 든다 이제 이런 살들이 많은데 저번 주에 경기에서 패배하고 난 다음에 이제 순위가 4위까지로 떨어졌었잖아요. 어떠셨나요? 지금 이제 이번에
And after climbing up to third place, you finished at fourth last phase.
L5를 이긴다면은 뭐 되겠지만은
If we beat L5, I think it's possible.
많이 저희 팀원들도 많이 힘들어하긴 했어요. 근데 그거 잘 극복하면서
It was very tough
L5를 잡는다면은 충분히 가능성이
since
있다고.
phase number 1, but after, if we can actually solve that out before our match against L5, I think we can have a chance here. Last shout outs to your fans, please.
많이 응원해 주셔서 감사하고.
Thanks for all the rooting from the fans.
좋은 모습 많이 보여드리겠습니다.
And of course, we'll try our best to show our best games later on. Thank you very
마기
much.
선수와 함께했습니다. 조심히 들어가십시오.
And that was Magi
from
from Mighty. He seems very tired after that long last
경기 결과
game.
예고해드리겠습니다. 빨리
And
벗으세요.
let's look at the result. Here it is.